Achieving in life, whatever that means to you. Achieving success, whatever that means. One of the great things that I recommend people have is to have a mentor, a man or woman who can help you at moments of indecision. They can help you because of their knowledge, their care, their experience. And many years ago, I was lucky to have a number of mentors. They came into my life at different times, usually when I needed them the most. And one of them, a wonderful man called Jim Rohn. Jim taught me, he used to say, work harder on yourself than you do at your job. And I thought, well, how do you do that? You know, I'm working 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day sometimes. But he said, work harder on yourself than you do at your job. And what he meant, of course, was quality time. Quality time. I was talking with a friend the other day, and he'd bought a new television, just came up in conversation. And I said, oh, how much did your television cost? And I think he said something like £1,000. It was in that figure. And I said, no, I don't think it did. And he said, no, it did. I can assure you. I said, no, that's the price of the television. It's not the cost. I said, I reckon that television is costing you £50,000 a year. And he said, I don't understand. I said, well, how many hours a day do you watch that television? And he said, 2-3 hours in the evening, maybe 4. I said, right. So that's time you spend watching television. Time that you could be devoting to learning a new skill, learning a new trade, learning a new language, learning something that would help to elevate you out of where you are right now, help you to build and grow and expand and be far more than you are. But you're spending 4 hours a day watching television. You see, I helped him to understand that in life, everything you do is building someone's dreams. Now, I want to say that again. Everything you do is building someone's dreams. If you're in your car, you're driving down the road, you put the radio on, you listen to a song on the radio, whoever the artist is, you're building their dreams. When you go out to the shops and you want to buy, a shirt, you have 100 shops to choose from. Whichever one you buy your shirt from, you're building their dreams. So let me say again, everything you do in life is building someone's dreams. If you're watching 4 hours of television a night, you're building their dreams. Why are you not building your dreams? So, the price of a television is one thing, the lifetime cost is enormous. So again, I come back to work harder on yourself than you do at your job. People sometimes say to me, what car do I drive? And I make a joke. I say, I don't have a car. And they look surprised. And I say, what I do have is a mobile university. Because when I'm in my car, I listen to audio books, audio instructions. I learn languages. I learn new techniques, new concepts. Because at 30-minute drive, I can learn something. I can put that time to good use. Work harder on yourself than you do at your job. It's to do with quality time, not necessarily quantity. And a couple of final points here. If you want to be a leader, and I'm talking about a leader in your own life, a leader of your own destiny, a leader in your own family, you want to take charge, you want to set the direction of your sail, then your success will be determined by your philosophy. What is philosophy? Philosophy is simply what you know, because every decision you make in life is based on what you know, and what you know is what you've learned. So your philosophy is based on what you've learned, what you've heard, what you've read, what you've seen. And your philosophy will make you or break you. So what is your philosophy? So I'll leave you with two simple thoughts. Leaders, all great men and women throughout history, whether it's military, economic, religious, political. You think of the great men and women down throughout history. What do we know about them? Well, we know two things. Almost every one of them were readers. A good example comes to mind, Abraham Lincoln. He grew up in abject poverty, so poor there were times he could not put food on the table. But whenever he got a little bit of extra money, what did he do? He bought books. He bought books to increase his learning. Leaders are readers. We learn when they died. Afterwards, they almost all had a library. A library that they built up over the years to give them the knowledge and skills that they needed. Leaders are readers. The other thing that they are is writers. Leaders are writers. Again, when these men and women, they die, they pass on, we learn that the majority of them kept in-depth diaries. These diaries were something that they could put their thoughts down, their feelings, their ideas, their plans, their vision, their mission. They thought on paper. Leaders think on paper. So, leaders are readers. Leaders are writers. It's a simple thing to do. If you want to start improving your life, start reading more and put your thoughts on paper. Become a reader, become a writer.